Hey guys, Dean here, hope you're all well. So Korg very kindly sent me the Drumlogue to make some music with, and the track you just heard was made entirely from the Drumlogue. So I wanted to give you a little breakdown of what I did and how I did it. Let's dig in. So first of all, I started with the drums. I first put in a bass drum and a kick drum using the analog engines. So we got the kick, then we got the snare, put a clap in to give it a little bit more snap. And then I wanted to add a little bit of groove, so we got the funky tambourine and some shakers. Then finally some hats. One thing that helped the whole groove bounce a little bit more was the swing setting. So if you go into the time menu over here, you can set different amounts of groove. So if I play with no groove, here it's all quite straight. Then if I dial in the swing a bit more so you can hear it, so it's getting a bit janky that far. But they're about 25%, just gives it a nice bit of bounce. So next up, it was the chords. I thought it'd be cool if we had a kind of hip-hop inspired string stabby type sound. So I loaded 2 string samples onto the Drumlogue, which sound like this. And as you can probably tell, I am using a MIDI keyboard. This is plugged straight into the Drumlogue, which means you can lay things out chromatically and it makes it a lot easier to play. So after jamming around a little bit, I realised that switching between these 2 samples gave me the chords I was after. Luckily, Drumlogue has this motion feature which allows you to record the knob movement of pretty much anything on here. So what I did first of all was record the steps in. Then we record the motion in afterwards. So that's how I made the main chords of the song. Next up, bass. So next up was the bass, and I used the nano synth engine for this. You get to that by going to the user part, and then you've got the nano engine, which sounds like this. So I was going for a bit of an 808 vibe on this one. The filter sounds really nice. Get pretty nasty. So it's a pretty simple patch. All I've got going on is 2 square waves, 1 an octave up, a little bit of pitch envelope to give it a bit of attack at the beginning. So if I take that off, it's kind of flat at the beginning, dial that in, gives it a nice attack. And then I've also got this drive set on here, which helps it cut through on smaller speakers as well. So without the drive, I'm gonna start dialing it in. You get that nice fat 808 sound. Let's record that bass now. And we're in. That was it. It's a pretty simple bass line, but I think the pitch envelope and the distortion really helps the bass cut through. So on to the next part. So Drumlogue has this super fun, really cool feature called loop mode. So you get to that by hitting loop mode here. What this does is it basically just repeats small parts of the patterns, and you can choose which part of the pattern you repeat by hitting your different pads down here. So what that sounds like is a bit like this. That's a really fun performance feature to use, and is also really cool because it gives you some nice fills and glitchy elements and brings the whole thing to life. So what I wanted to do was incorporate this kind of unpredictability and excitement into the track. I played the track into Ableton and then recorded my performance. Let's have a little play. So there you go, loop mode, a super fun way to add some excitement and some fills and glitches and a bit of interest into your track. Next up, we've got synths. So after I had the main bulk of the track down, the only thing really left to do was add some melody, and this was the perfect place to use the nano engine again and also the VPN engine. So the main synth part sounds like this. And that was using the nano engine And the main thing which really brings these sounds to life is the delay and reverb. So if I take the delay and reverb off, it sounds like this. So definitely not as exciting. The effects really bring that part to life. So the final part of the synth sound was to layer it to give it a bit more sparkle. So I did that with the VPM engine. It sounds like this. The main part of this sound again was the delay and reverb. If I take those off, it's a pretty big difference. So that is about it, guys. I hope you found that useful. I really enjoyed using the Drumlogue and just getting away from the computer for a bit and making something on an actual machine away from a screen. But yeah, until the next time, peace.